Georgian Lussier, the host and producer of Midlife Matters. I've been delighted to look back and realize that I had several guests who were 90 plus or certainly in their 70s who were just such wonderful examples of the human spirit and what women can accomplish. Each of these women really developed their own way of continuing to contribute into what we would call the later years. I just wanted to share that this can be a group of people that we don't think exists, particularly women who have had careers and interests and passions and talents their whole lives and continue to contribute and grow and learn and just are an inspiration to us all. So I wanted to share that with you folks because we can't forget that there are role models out there and there are reasons to celebrate the opportunities we encounter as we get older. I'd like to share some clips from the conversations I had with some of these women. Anne Lehman, the metal sculptor, artist, professor, horsewoman. Judith Altmann, the Holocaust survivor, thriver, who has just reached out to so many school children in the thousands. And Jean Cherney, who created her own business at age 70 and got to see her beloved giraffes in action at age 90. How did you begin? What interested you? Tell us the story.
I have been interested in sculpture a long time because I have always been drawing and interested in portraying things in any other way. And I kept wanting to make something dimensional. I never was happy with things flat. So as the years went by, and I had lots of painting lessons and things like that, and I got into college, and then at Smith College, you can't even take sculpture until you've done all the painting 101 and 102, which I did. Finally, I got into sculpture and finally found a medium that I can express best.
And were there many women doing metal sculptures?
No, there weren't many in the beginning. As time went on, the women, as we know, have ventured into everything, and the world has become more acceptant. Although many, you hardly know it's a woman. There's not a differentiation between the way the women do the art and the way the men. That may be because of the equipment today. The modern equipment is wonderful. I believe you should know your materials. Then you can, you know how to express yourself in any way. It tells you how to express yourself. It's a lot what technology has done for sculpture. It frees an artist up to make designs that you hadn't thought of before and that you couldn't do easily. The point is to be able to express yourself.
Please tell us about your early days.
Well, I come from Czechoslovakia. It was the most democratic country. When Hitler occupied Czechoslovakia, our part was given back to Hungary. And Hungary was a Nazi regime as well. The Jews in that part were treated the same way as they were treated in all the other countries where Hitler occupied. Every Jew had to wear the Star of David. Our life has changed drastically. Jewish children could no longer go to school. I met my friend Olga. She said, "Judy, why weren't you in school today?" "Because I'm Jewish." "But you were Jewish yesterday." She could not understand what happened. It was the most devastating time. I said, if I survive, I will tell the world and tell young children what to do and to look out and not to trust and look out for it and see what they can do to prevent that such atrocity should not happen anywhere in the world, God forbid, in our own country. And this is what I do. I try to talk to as many children as I can because they are our future and they will see to it that such atrocity shouldn't happen again. And they should see that wherever they can help, they should.
And I'm just delighted to have you on the show, Judith.
I thank you again very much, and many people should see, because unfortunately, It's blossoming again. The indifference, the intolerance, the anti-Semitism is growing. When we were liberated, we said never again. But it's happening again. Where did we fail? What didn't we do enough? We should have convinced the world, but it's happening again and again everywhere.
Well, you're certainly doing your part to combat that. Your senior living solutions came about because, if I can tell your story a little bit from our last time, bring our viewers back up to date. You had been in the residential business, had your resume out there, and I think at that time you were in your 70s. And gee, you weren't getting a lot of response.
No.
So you said,
I said, I'm going to start my own business.
there you go.
If nobody wants to hire me, I'm going to start my own business, which I did. And then through a series of very lucky incidents, and I think we talked about this last time, I've been very fortunate in that women throughout my career have always given me a hand up. And I'm a great believer in women helping other women.
In terms of taking our own advice, what are some hopes and reflections that you have as you're moving?
I hope, of course, as I think anyone who is aging, I hope that my very good fortune in remaining healthy stays. That's always, I think, uppermost. I think when you're younger, you take it for granted.
Yes.
As you age, you realize this is, above all, the greatest gift of all, is
Yes.
if you are healthy.
I always ask guests about advice to our younger selves.
It seems like there are roadblocks, or life doesn't happen in a straight direction, but sometimes something that at the time seems like an obstacle turns out to be a good teaching lesson, or looking back, actually an important turning point that you don't see at the time. I think I would worry perhaps less.
Certainly, that's good advice for all of us. Thanks so much. Again, I'm Georgian Lussier with MIDLIFE Matters, WPAA-TV in Wallingford, Connecticut. They're very generous people. They come on the show and they share all of their aspects of their journeys, how they got to where they are